bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Well, good evening and happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is a very special event tonight. Open lines all night long here on Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses on this Thanksgiving Eve. That's right, it's Wednesday, November 22nd, 326 days into the new year, just 39 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California, and I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black. For KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planets. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? I hope everybody is home. I know right now your house smells really, really good. and you're spending time with us tonight. So let's do this. Let's do this proper, like we do every single year. We're going to open up the phone lines all night to hear from all of you, the audience, on this Thanksgiving, what you are thankful for. And it's all on the table tonight. Of course, conspiracies, the supernatural, UFOs. You know, a good Thanksgiving ghost story, right? The stolen turkey. All of that. And during my little pre-show, chat, what this has developed into over the years, it's a lot of fun because the audience dictates this show, no matter what FADERNIGHT it is or what month or day of the year. You guys dictate the show. You guys drive the direction that we go in. And we have had some gnarly food fights, arguments over the years, man. And it's just been wonderful. And somebody brought up yesterday, and then I saw it pop up on social media today, the Great Cornbread War. Remember that last year, the recipes for cornbread? It was great. And there you go. Okay, so see, I'm already seeing it pop up in Twitter. All right, so let's get ready for that. Open lines all night long. And tomorrow we're taking the day off. We're going to be spending our Thanksgiving dinner with family here in Burbank. Really looking forward to that. And we have done Thanksgiving dinner over at the house like the last 7 years. And so this is the first year that we've taken off. That doesn't mean that we're not cooking, because we are, and taking stuff over, but this is the first year that we haven't done it in 7 years. Yeah, I might get used to this. I don't know. I really like Thanksgiving dinner at the house. There's nothing like that toast with your family sitting in front of you and just getting down. All right. So, but we're going to take tomorrow off. Open lines all night long tonight. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. And one of the things, because look, I grew up in the Midwest. Now, I did spend some time over in Germany, and I spent some time down in Panama. in the Canal Zone. But for the most part, for me, it was Chicago, Michigan, and Indianapolis. And you could throw in a little Memphis and a little, I never lived in Columbus, Ohio, but my parents lived there for a little bit too as well, so I spent some time back there. But the Midwest, right, for me. And so going to my grandparents' house for Thanksgiving dinner, or my aunt's house and uncle's house for Thanksgiving dinner, at our house, maybe even with neighbors or friends over the years. But I'm going to speak for the Midwest right now. Forget about New York. Forget about it. Forget about Florida and San Francisco and Los Angeles. You guys are out of the mix. The center part of this country, let me tell you, I recognize how much thought and effort and prep is put into that Thanksgiving dinner. It's a competition, isn't it? Isn't it just, you just want to be able to go and brag to your friends about the dinner you're about to have. And then after the dinner, the next day or the next week, you brag about how great it was. And it's just amazing. Right? So I do. I want to live. I want to hear from all of you across the country. What are you going to have for dinner tomorrow? Is it the traditional thing? And even if it is traditional, all of it's special, right? There is no such thing as a normal, creamed corn or mac and cheese or mashed potatoes. There's nothing normal about it anywhere. Everybody's got their secret way of doing things, right? If I had a nickel, if you had a nickel for every perfect turkey recipe, right? Oven, roasting bags, deep fried, smoked. How about just a turkey straight on the rack with some onions and potatoes underneath it, and just throw it in with some stuff, and just throw that in the oven. There's nothing wrong with that. Little oil on it, right? Some people do butter, right? Okay, so let's do it. Let's have the most fun, epic show ever, and let's see if we can get a good Thanksgiving argument with our family going tonight on the show. Now, you can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio, Hashtag F2B on Twitter is the Sandbox. You can come and hang out there. The chat rooms over at KGRA The Planet or Spreaker are open. You can do that too as well. Everything is open and live to me, all around me. Of course, email Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. Okay, would love to hear from you. And there you go. So that sets the tone. I'm going to open up the phone lines now and throw some people on hold. I know. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay, boom, done. Yes. Okay, that's one. And let's get the other bank open over here. Okay, we're good. We are officially open for business. All right, that didn't take long. Okay, so I'm putting people on hold now, so just stay on hold. If you can hear me, I'll get to you in just a bit. Let's roll through a few things I got to get through here. And first off, I got some breaking news. And I'm going to watch Twitter here. I've got to watch Twitter as I read this breaking news out there. Okay, are you ready? Australia has overtaken the UK and Canada as our number 2 market. Australia is our new number 2 as of today, and the UK overtook Canada. So it's the United States, right? Australia, the UK, and Canada, which is still in front of, wait for it, Greece. Greece. Now, I kept us quiet for the last few months because, the big change happened today. Greece snuck up on us. For a while, Canada stayed strong at number 2 for almost a year. Canada was just right there, okay? But Greece came out of nowhere and stayed at number 2 for 3 or 4 months and bumped everybody. Greece. And they're still there at number 5. It's unbelievable to me. Now, United States has been staying right there at 70%, 72%, 70%, 72% of the market share, with those remaining 5 battling it out. Now we have, what's really strange is there's literally another 100 countries there that, 0.1%, and all of that. But 5%, 6%, 4%, 4.5% market share, it jumps around. But Canada stayed strong, right? But Australia today came in with a 1-month average at 6%. Australia. Now, go ahead. Okay. All right. Canada. How do you feel about that? I mean, Canada was right there. I didn't think Canada was going to go anywhere. And Australia just started pushing through and it overtook. So there you go. That's the breaking news. I just thought I'd share that with you. We are very thankful for our audience and very shocked about that. Okay. Next, our podcast star contest. I was talking to Tascam today, and wow, what a response we have had. Now, today's the 22nd, so we have until the 30th. Okay, it is coming down to the wire here. November 30th is the last day for submissions for our next late night Podstar contest. Okay, so all of the rules and how to enter are over at jimmychurchradio.com. The top, you can click on the banners, and also at the top of the page, Game Changer. Click on that. There's all of the rules right there, and the email link for your submission. Nothing accepted after November 30th. Those are the rules, so get busy. Okay? Why Greece? Email just comes in. That has to be due to sucralose. Hey, I didn't. You know what? Renee, thank you for that, because we've been scratching our heads on that for a while now. Maybe it is because of sucralose. I didn't even think about it, but it's been going on for 4 months. But nonetheless, they're still strong though, and I thought it was going to be some momentary peak, for a couple of days, but Greece has stayed right there. Yeah, that's a really great point. Could it be for because of Giorgio? All right. Also, Unity Workshops and their production of their podcast. We need producers, writers, everybody from our community. We've had dozens and dozens of you come in and are helping out with all of the podcasts. Thank you for that. There's lots of podcasts to do for the rest of our lives. So we need writers, producers, editors, audio, video, artists, all of that. Okay, so go sign up at theunityproject.org. Our next event's coming up, Conscious Life Expo, February 9th through the 12th, 2018, at the LAX Hilton. Tickets and info are over at consciouslifeexpo.com. We'll get some banners up for everybody over the weekend as we update the website. And we'll have some banners up for the Conscious Life Expo. Okay, so tickets and info, we'll see all of you there. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We have over 750 archive shows, all the apps that you need, Apple, Android, all platforms. It's just $2 a month. And you can also become an official FADERNIGHT in our membership section over at the website. Very simple. You can go and do that now. Don't forget to visit all of our sponsors here. Life Change Tea, getthetea.com, River Moon Coffee. Man, today, were you guys watching Twitter today? Did you see that flood of River Moon Coffee pics that went through? There were dozens of them. Dozens. So funny. Man, you guys love your River Moon Coffee. Fade to black blend. And look, see, did you see what I just did? I picked it up just like that. It's a habit. That is a serious drug right there. Fade to black blend. All right. Where am I at? You know what? Let's just get some stuff out of the way. I'm going to go straight to the phones. Today, happy birthday to Mark Ruffalo. Today, he is 50. Great actor. Love him. Jamie Lee Curtis is 59 today. And Scarlett Johansson is only 33. Now, Scarlett will always make the list every single year because of two movies. First off, Ghost World. Love that movie. Every bit of Ghost World, from the beginning to the credits, sensational movie. But there's another movie, and I talked about this a couple of years ago. It's called Under the Skin, and it's one of the best alien E.T. movies you are ever going to see. And if you haven't seen Under the Skin, I suggest you make that your Thanksgiving night movie right after this show. Watch Under the Skin. If that doesn't creep you out, it's good too. And it's got an amazing ending. Under the Skin, Scarlett Johansson. All right, on this day in history, you know it happened. 1963, John F. Kennedy is assassinated. My mom used to tell me over the years that I was like a month old, right? 6 weeks old. And she used to tell me that I was laying in, something in front of the TV on the living room floor. She propped me up in front of the TV, and she heard the news and went in and watched it on TV with me, and I was like 6 weeks old. Wow. And so here we are today. John F. Kennedy, 1963. Fader fact, John F. Kennedy's brain was removed and stored in the National Archive after his autopsy. But the brain was subsequently lost, and since 1966, it remains missing to this day. Some suspect it was Robert Kennedy that took the brain. Yeah, for a bunch of different reasons. Okay? One, the speculation is it would prove where the bullet came from, right? The front or the back or both. So there's that. There's another one out there that, he was on all kinds of drugs and they didn't want the drug analysis out there. So there's that. There's another one speculating that there was some kind of psychosis or illness that would be identified if the brain was analyzed over time. And therefore, Robert went and took it and kept it. Yeah, it's never been found. All right. Tonight, Fader Night, open lines all night long. And we're taking tomorrow off. It is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. The call-in numbers, 323-825-5045. Now, I want to share this with you. Today is November 22nd. It's the anniversary of the JFK assassination. And last night we had Richard Dolan on the show, and we were discussing false flags. And recently declassified documents relating to the assassination of Kennedy confirmed the existence of a plot to start a war with the Soviet Union by conducting a false flag attack. Now, one document, which I've read, it was made public, says that a meeting on March 22nd, 1962, during which a senior U.S. body group of officials discussed a suggestion by then Attorney General Robert Kennedy. The president's brother thought that the United States should acquire Soviet military aircraft or build some copies, right? Maybe manufacture a copy of the MiG-17, the MiG-19. The estimated cost of building such aircraft in the document says $3.5 million for 6 American planes resembling a MiG-17 from a distance. And then they kicked up the estimates to $26 to $44 million for a MiG-19 copy that non-specialists could mistake for the real thing from the outside. Building the exact replicas of the aircraft was deemed impossible, while making a copy of an IL-14 in Lucian 14 was described as extremely difficult and time-consuming, even if it would only have to pass a casual inspection. And this document is amazing. The CIA in this document suggested acquiring original Soviet aircraft, either through pilot defection or maybe buying them from a non-member of the Warsaw Pact. Now, it also presented 3 scenarios in which the Soviet warplanes could be used, including operations to confuse enemy planes in the air or maybe attack enemy installations, and a provocation operation in which, now, this is a direct quote Listen, a provocation operation in which Soviet aircraft would appear to attack U.S. or friendly installations to provide an excuse for a United States intervention, end quote. Crazy. Now, the special group which held the meeting included Attorney General Robert Kennedy, CIA Director John McCone, National Security Advisor McGeorge Bundy, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Lyman Lemnitzer. Now, President Kennedy and Secretary of State Dean Rusk were not members of the group, but did attend the meetings. Now, before we jump to, this whole, we wouldn't do that, man, false flags. I'm just going to say two words. Operation Northwoods. Operation Northwoods. This is what was on the mind of our Joint Chiefs as they sat down and just tried to figure out how to poke a stick in the eye of the big red bear. I mean, seriously. And attacking installations. False flags are a real thing, and this was something that was just glossed over in the media when it came with the JFK document dump. So think about that. And I know this is the anniversary. This is November 22nd, the JFK assassination and Camelot, and I get all of that. But these guys went dark. These guys had dark conversations. All right, with that, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, it's Paul from rainy Grants Pass. How are you?
Hey, Paul. Happy Thanksgiving.
And to you, Jimmy. I want to let you know, and the listeners, that Ted the Turkey is safe again this year. I just put the pork roast into the marinade, and I'll let it marinate overnight and all day tomorrow, and we'll have a killer pork roast dinner with quinoa and all kinds of greens and fixings. So it should be amazing. I had a turkey fly in here, a domestic bird fly in several years ago, and claim political asylum suspiciously close to Thanksgiving.
Really?
And he's been living with us ever since.
And how big is Ted the Turkey?
Ted the Turkey is a bronze heritage breed turkey, and he's probably 30, 35 pounds.
Man.
He's just quite a character. He remember, who was it? So Said Fred?
Yes.
I'm too sexy. When he's in his mating mode, man, that video is just Ted.
Now, I was reading today, okay, male turkeys gobble, right?
Mm-hmm.
And female turkeys cackle. They both don't gobble. Am I right, or do I have that backwards?
No, the male turkeys gobble. That's their call.
Right.
And you can hear it for a long way. It really carries in the woodland, and so that's it. And of course, they chirp and peep and all of that stuff. I never got Ted a girlfriend because I didn't want a lot of little Teds and Theodoras running around.
Why not? Why not?
Well, 4 cats, 2 dogs, a tom turkey. That's enough.
Well, I've often wondered, what about and can you scramble a turkey egg?
Yeah, it's an egg just like any other egg.
It's an egg. Like, what does it taste like?
I have no idea. I've never had a turkey egg.
I mean, can you imagine the omelet that you could have with a turkey egg?
Oh, sure, same as with geese. A goose egg is the same way. And I'm sure it would be very, very good. The problem, of course, is separating the egg from the goose or the turkey.
Right. Now, what about the other stuff here before we head to a break? Cranberry sauce?
Hate it. But if you'll hold me through the break, I have a true conspiracy story about the origin of the date of Thanksgiving for you.
Whoa. Okay.
True story, brother.
Now, okay. Then, you know what? I will hold you through the break on that because I want to hear your version of it because I have some research that I did on that today. And I got about 5 different stories, right, about the origins of Thanksgiving and the official holiday, too, and how that came into play. That's even pretty strange. So
Yeah.
I'll save mine for yours, and then we'll come back to that. Okay, so you're getting now. I understand you're sparing the life for Ted the turkey. Okay, I get that. But you that means a cute little pig is on the table instead.
Absolutely.
You have no issues. I have no issues with that. So, and what?
all things kill to eat. To live,
everything. You know what's funny to me, and this is the truth. This is for all the vegans out there, all the hardcore vegans wearing plastic shoes. Okay, one of the things that I know and I appreciate is the forest, the trees, the green, flowers, bushes, corn, right? All of it, right? Vegetation. And when you got your nice sharp knife out and you are slicing up some green onions, that cold blade cutting through that green onion hurts that onion just like anything else, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When you are yanking apples off of a tree, pulling something out of the ground, cutting up whatever it is, you vegans, the pain is still there. It's called the cycle of life. And that's it, because I know my trees that I have here, I have a pomegranate tree, over at the house in the backyard. That thing talks to me. It talks, man. I'm telling you, I have conversations with this tree, and it kills me to trim it every year. It's got to hurt, but I got to do it. So, all right, let's do this. Let me put you on hold. I'm going to put you on hold. Let me get through this commercial break, and we will do the conspiracy of Christmas, of Thanksgiving, of Christmas. That's a whole nother show. And we'll be right back. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Bespoke radio for the masses. We are doing open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger-looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at kgraradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. kgraradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is our annual Thanksgiving special, Fader Night, open lines all night long. So you guys dictate the show. I do want to hear what you're having for dinner, though. And now, as promised, held over from the break is Paul up in Oregon. And Paul, you've got the conspiracy of the origins of Thanksgiving. Let's hear it.
Of how it got set on the third Thursday in November. There was a colonial sea captain who decided that he wanted to be in the British Navy, and he wanted to be a British naval officer. He sailed across the Atlantic from Massachusetts and went to the Admiralty and demanded to be made a British naval captain. Well, of course, the Admiralty looks at this hick from the sticks and laughs. And they shoo him away, go away, little man. But somebody there was paying attention. And at the time, the British were having real problems with piracy on the west coast of India and controlling and interfering with the trade between Arabia and India. And this fellow was tied to the government, pulled him aside and said, "Have I got a deal for you? We're building a purpose-built frigate to send around the Horn to control this piracy. But we can't do it with the British Navy, and it's got to be a totally off-the-books operation." Does this sound familiar to anybody? Mm-hmm. Okay, like what we do today? In any event, it was the last frigate built with sweeps. The vessel's name, I believe, was the Queen Anne's Revenge. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. The guy's name was Edward Teach. They sailed from England with a crew, got to South Africa, and the Teach refused to give the admiral on station civilian honors and instead demanded military honors. That alienated the admiral in South Africa, and as a result, Teach lost his logistical support from the British that was supposed to be quietly given to him. He cruised up the east coast of Africa, didn't run into any pirates, ran out of supplies. His crew mutinied and started going pirate, raiding the grandees and the ships going back and forth between India and Saudi Arabia and the Arabian Peninsula. They beached Teach, I think, on Mozambique, and continued raiding for quite some time. Eventually, the ship was full. They came back. They decided they needed Teach. They gave him the choice, die or sail with us. They sailed. more raiding, more piracy. Finally came back around to the Caribbean. Supposedly stashed their goodies down, a lot of their goodies down there, and then they sailed into New York. It turns out the governor of New York at the time, the colonial governor of New York, was a member of the Out Party from the party that was ruling Parliament, Prime Minister's Party, and all of that. Huge scandal in the making. Okay, like Ollie North on steroids. Huge scandal in the making. Well, they wouldn't extradite Teach and his crew from New York. Teach's wife was still living in Massachusetts. They finally lured him back to Massachusetts with letters from his wife. As soon as he got into Massachusetts, he was clapped in chains, held incommunicado until he was executed. And the day that the governor got the day that the governor of Massachusetts, who was part of the In Party with the people in England, got this news and knew it was going to be suppressed, declared that day to be a day of Thanksgiving. And that's how Thanksgiving fell on the third Thursday in November.
Wow. Okay. And that's your story, and you're sticking to it.
I've got the book upstairs. Stop by the house, and I'll pull it down for you. It's up in the attic. And you are always welcome here in Grants Pass.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Paul, and happy Thanksgiving, and enjoy your dinner tomorrow. Be safe.
And to you. Bye.
Thank you so much. I had read today so many different views of the origins of Thanksgiving. Abraham Lincoln, he was coaxed into it from a magazine editor. I read an entire thing today with Kennedy right before he was assassinated. Had a November 4th, not a proclamation, but an order that he put forth to make November 24th Thanksgiving. I think that was the date. And that was done. It was written up November 4th, 1963. And, right before he was assassinated. So I have that too. Maybe I'll get to that in just a bit. And so with that, let's do this. I'm going to do this. And let's go to this line first. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Debbie from Sacramento.
Hi, Debbie from Sacramento. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, Jimmy. Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. Doing great. You know, you've made this week so much fun because growing up as a Christian, my Holy Trinity was Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and Father God. Since my awakening, it's become Wilcock, Richard Dolan, and Stephen Greer. And you've had 2 or 3 on this week, so it's been like Christmas instead of Thanksgiving for me. It's just been awesome.
Well, yeah, and you're welcome for that. Yeah, it was a pretty incredible week on the show, and thank you for that. But it was something that we do every year, and it's the timing of it and the way that it went down. Boom, Wilcock and Dolan, and then, Thursday, being shut down, and then today. So it was just an incredible week. It was so much fun. Yeah. So much fun. Everybody was on their game. Great. Everybody was on their game.
Well, and the thing I love about, Wilcock too, but Richard Dolan, the thing I love about him, and it kind of reminds me of Mike Bear a little bit too, they're very sure about what they're very sure about. And Richard, to his credit, has always said, hey, and if I find, I'm wrong or I need to amend my views, I go back. But when you guys were talking about the Mandela Effect, you were just as certain of your memory as he was of his. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, so is Jimmy going to go back, and is he going to, take Richard's suggestion? And did you go back and did you check your records of research?
Well, no, I didn't have time to do that, but I'll say this, that conversation was awesome at the end of the show, and it was very fun but I know Richard really, really, really well, and I know exactly where he's coming from. And so I'm going to step back and listen to what he has to say. But for me, there's other stuff, and I wasn't going to, bring it up there. It wasn't like some big debate. But there are things about the Mandela effect that mess with my head. And I'm not so sure that I am ready to just dismiss it. And I go back to the activation of CERN and some of the other stuff that I brought forward over the last year or so about the Mandela effect. That I think that we're overlapping with some parallel situations here, and things have blended a little bit. There are literally millions of people that have come forward that either have some very twisted minds and memories and are faulty, and that includes myself, or there's something going on. Maybe Richard just hasn't had that curious moment, for him to step back and go, wow, well, I remember that differently, and I'm pretty sure about my memory. So
Well, then it doesn't mess with his mind the way it messes with yours, and it messes with yours because there's a conflict and your memory is valid.
Yeah.
So of course it's going to mess with your mind. He hasn't had that conflict that you've had. That's all.
Yeah. It'll happen. And like I said, at the end of the show last night, Deb, when I said that ship that appeared above us, and Mike Barra was just poo-pooing this whole thing. Oh man, there's a Marine base right next to us. There's all kinds of stuff in the air, and then right there on cue, boop, this thing lights up in the sky. We've got our night vision, and Mike Barra got slapped. And I loved it. And Mike knows, to hear, Mike is a very opinionated guy. And so to have the opportunity to silence him at that moment was really, really cool, because it was great for him to go through that. So he finally got to experience what other people have been seeing. And so when he hears people talk about this, now he knows. Now he knows what it's like. But I want to say this before I let you go, Deb, is there's one thing about Richard. Richard is on camera and on the radio. People are used to listening to him speak like he is a very learned professional. He's a very learned guy. But he is very cool. He's got a brilliant sense of humor. He will make you laugh. He is, when you just are hanging out with Richard, he's just a very, very, very cool guy. And that's what I appreciate about him the most. And so there you go.
Through in his intelligence and in his teachings. And when I heard he was doing false flags, I immediately signed up on Gaia and watched the whole series. And it was all excellent, but my two favorite were the last two on 9/11. And maybe it's because that's the one I'm the most familiar with. But he infuses his humor even into situations and teaching like that. So I understand what you're saying. Of course, you're fortunate to know him on a personal level. But you can sense he's got a great sense of humor.
Well, you can ask any of the Fadernauts. He's hung out with us a lot. All of our parties, he is always there. So, all right. Hey, Deb, happy Thanksgiving. Have a great day tomorrow.
You and Rita have a wonderful one, and your girls. Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you, Deb. Deb in Sacramento. Everybody, okay, let's stay on the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, Jimmy. This is Frankie Fornfigers from Monmouth.
Hey, Frankie. How are you, man? Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Hey, I just want to wish you and Rita and the Fade to Black crew and the family, Fadernight family, happy Thanksgiving.
Coming right back at you, Frankie. And, okay, so impress me. What's Susie putting on that table tomorrow?
Actually, I'm the one that'll be putting stuff on the table. I do the cooking.
What? Okay, all right. What do you? Okay, all right. That blew my mind. Okay, so how do you guys do your Thanksgiving?
Well, we just do the normal. Cook up the eatables and put it on the table, and we all sit around the table and give thanks. And all our kids are here this year too. So.
Well, I mean, okay. So, what are edibles? What are you guys doing, Frankie? I need to eat my dinner.
Make them a normal, make the yams and make the turkey, salad, gravy. I mean, just the normal fix, and minus the cornbread.
Right. Okay. No cornbread. How do you do the turkey?
No cornbread.
Just straight in the oven?
straight in the oven. One of these years, I'll probably put it on the smoker and try it one of these years. But normally, I don't want to take a chance of ruining it, so I just put it straight in the oven.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. One of these years, I'm going to do the deep fried. I'm just going to go. I'm going to go buy a deep fryer. Put it out in the middle of the yard so it doesn't burn the house down, and see what that's all about. That's supposed to be the best. So I will check that out. Well, all right.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that out too.
All right, Frankie. Well, you guys, seriously, have a great, fun, and safe Thanksgiving tomorrow, and just do it proper, man. Eat way too much.
Will do, and you do the same, and we'll catch you later.
Thank you so much. That's Frankie Four Fingers, everybody. And there's a reason why he's called Frankie Four Fingers. All right. Oh, did I just hang up on... I think I just did the wrong thing here. Okay, so I apologize for that. I just hung up on two people on the other phone lines. Okay, so let's bang. That's what happens. The phones are going crazy. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is me. It's Mike up in Washington State.
Hey, Mike up in Washington State. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, you too, my friend, and Rita as well, and the whole family, and even the FADERNIGHTs. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and just enjoy it. Jimmy, this first night, I've worked lots of hours, and this is the first night, because of tomorrow being a day off for me, 4 days actually, I'm pleased as heck. I get to stay up and listen to you all night instead of at work.
That's a great thing, isn't it?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm pumped. But, hey, did you see that tweet I did? I tagged you in it about CERN being started up in 54.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yes.
And I find that, see, I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you about the Mandela Effect. And there's some things that trip me out, like even the coincidences with what I posted on that about 2008 and the economy doing its thing.
Right. 2010. Yeah, and you're right about that. See, this is where I trip out just a little bit, and I need to be very clear about what I'm trying to say. CERN is an experiment, and they are going into areas of physics and quantum physics and other types of physics that they don't know the end result. It's an experiment, right? They're going into zones where nobody has gone before. I don't want to paraphrase Star Trek, but that's exactly.
Imagine what they're not telling us, too.
That's my point. They don't know. I mean, there could be all kinds of things that are going on that they are causing that they may not know about, and they also may know about. It's not the only collider on the planet. There are colliders in probably 8 or 10 different countries. And if these colliders all do something at the same time, think about that. We're talking about ripping apart time and walls and worlds and walls that are between them. We just don't know. And they want to do this to study the effects and to see what the results are from these different collisions and so forth. And when we are dealing with something as crazy as antimatter, you have to suspend antimatter in a magnetic containment. Antimatter can't touch the walls of anything. It can't touch anything. Once it does, it will destroy it. Okay? And so therefore it has to be suspended. Now, wait a minute here. What are we doing? And how do we not know about some kind of crazy chain effect? Or, what if it just ate up everything? What if just one day they're out there goofing around and us, the Earth, literally in a nanosecond ceases to exist. We wouldn't even know it happened. So
Right.
that's what I trip on. I trip on CERN a lot. I really do.
Go ahead, my friend.
No, I just trip on CERN. And when you look at the timing of some of the things that CERN has done, and also across the United States too as well, the different colliders here, and you coincide those with, once you start to look at different dates and events, things just kind of pop up, and it just feels weird. And if we are opening up a door to a parallel world, we don't know what's coming through that door. Right? We don't know.
Yeah.
We just don't. We just don't. Well, listen, really
It's
quick.
too trippy.
What are you doing for our Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow?
Well, we're going to have a bunch of people. When you eat with the Acres, you not only eat, but you drink. You have a good social time because we're all so busy. But this is our get-together. We have turkey. We have mashed potatoes with gravy. We have garlic. Teresa, what are those beans that we know the name of them? Everybody, when you say green beans, I think of the little things. These beans, there's the long, skinny ones. There's a name for them. We put garlic on it, butter. We have family that brings over their pies and cookies and snacks, and we have cranberries. I mean, we go all out. There's other things. I just can't think of them right now.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Well, you guys just have a great day tomorrow. Enjoy it and be safe. And then we'll see you right here on Monday. All right, Mike?
You betcha. And to everybody out there, go Beckley Teppy.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Mike, and give my best to the family. All right, let me do this. Let me do this. Then I'm going to do this and say, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Bruce from Austin.
Hey, Bruce, you're breaking up, but happy Thanksgiving. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me now?
You're still breaking up, Bruce.
What about now?
Okay, I got
Is
you.
that better?
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, man.
Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Really. Let's talk about the. And I don't know how to even bring this up. Last night's shows, I sat here listening to it. I swear to you, I knew the answer to what your question was. I knew what his answer was going to be before he ever gave the answer. It's like I listened to a rerun.
Hive mind. And you got to love it when that happens, Bruce. You got to love it.
This is like the second time this has happened to me recently. And it's...
Hey,
I got to question my sanity.
Yeah, I know. But look, Bruce, this is what I do. When stuff like that goes down, and we haven't done a deja vu show in a while, but I believe in deja vus, and I enjoy them when they happen. And I used to always say this way before doing this show, that I feel like when it comes to deja vu, somebody has read my book of the future, and they know exactly what's going down, because there are moments where I know exactly what is about to be said, and I'll kick back and I'll watch a whole conversation unfold in front of me, and I know word for word what's going to go down between two different people or a group. So, just enjoy it when it happens. Don't freak out. Just enjoy it. It's natural.
Yeah. But, is CERN got anything to do with this?
I know. I know. What you should do after Thanksgiving is over tomorrow, go and jump on Google and Google things like CERN deja vu, CERN Mandela Effect, and go do some research, because it's some really good reading out there on that subject.
It just floored me. When I called you a while back and told you that I wasn't sure if I got visited or what happened, but somebody came to me, during the middle of the night.
Right.
They told me that no matter what everything in my life was going to be okay.
Right.
For a long time, and I'm talking months, every situation that I got into, I could walk away laughing at it, knowing that everything was going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I'm having this experience again.
Yeah. Well,
just like it did, 7 or 8 years ago.
Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Hey, Bruce, really quick.
Try to explain it to a buddy,
What?
Everybody looks at you like you've got 4 heads.
Man, tell them to come listen to this show. Listen, I got to head to a break. So tell me, what are you doing for Thanksgiving tomorrow in Texas?
Waiting on my daughter. I've got several options, but it's going to depend on what she wants to do. So waiting to hear back from her.
Oh, okay. Well,
we'll take it from there.
Nothing like spending it with family. That's the only way, friends. Over the years, there was like 3 years in a row that I didn't go back home for Thanksgiving. And Doug Aldrich, who we play his music here on the show.
Right.
I spent 3 years in a row over at Doug's house for Thanksgiving, and it, so it doesn't necessarily have to be with friends. I mean, with family, and so all of us homeless people, right, without family, we'd all get over to Doug's house and have Thanksgiving dinner over there, followed with a night of poker. But so just enjoy tomorrow with your daughter, and be safe and be well, Bruce.
Oh, man, well, happy Thanksgiving to y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
And you got the shirts, right?
Not yet, but don't worry about it. I'll let you know when we do.
Really? Wow, we sent them several days ago.
Okay.
Right.
Well, it's everybody's shipping stuff right now, man. You know how it is. It's all busy out there. But thank you so much, and I'll let you know.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too, Bruce. Thank you so much. Now, 323-825 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. If you are on hold, stay right there. I will get to everybody tonight. This is a very special Thanksgiving celebration with all of you Fadernauts. It's open lines all night long. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. You can follow me on Twitter at jchurchradio. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'll get to you. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Backley Tappy.
You're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy.
I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly ancient life oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. Hello, everybody out there. How you doing? It's Thanksgiving Eve, and I know your house smells really good right now. Everything is on the table tonight. Our family is here. This is the deal. I love Thanksgiving. So let's share all of this together. And, all subjects are on the table. This is your show. It's open lines all night long, wherever you guys want to go. And let's see. Let's go here next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Just a friendly.
Hello. You're breaking up. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's a drag right there. Okay, hi. You're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Larry from Granville, Ohio again.
Hey, Larry, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you tonight?
It's Thanksgiving Eve, man. Are you cooking?
Nope. Still going to Bob Evans tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You guys are doing Bob Evans. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Nothing wrong with that, man. I'm sure Bob Evans is going to do it upright. That's no joke.
Yeah, it ought to be good. Hey, I just wanted to call, and the Mandela Effect is real.
I know that it is. And what's your proof?
Man, I'm telling you, the Monopoly guy, all the time when I was growing up as a kid, playing that game, he had a monocle.
Yes. What, he doesn't?
And now he doesn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you go look it up now, look at the game boards in the stores, he doesn't have a monocle now.
What?
It's gone.
No. Are you being serious?
Yeah. I'm serious. Look it up.
I'm going to do it right now. Monopoly guy. Monopoly. I got to spell it right. Guy, monocle. Okay, here we go. All right. Boom. Done. Images. Wow.
Now, don't you remember him always having that when you played it as a kid?
Yes. I would say that my memory says there was always a monocle here, but I'm looking at all the new pictures, and there's no monocles on them anywhere. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm looking at the cover of the game. He has no monocle. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's the one that trips me out the most.
That's a good one, Larry. Thank you for that. And there you go. Wow. Yeah, full effect right there. Somebody needs to whip out, go into your attic, right now, one of the Fadernauts, go into your game room, get the Monopoly set that you had in the 60s or the 70s, and take a picture of the cover and send it in. I want to know if that guy has a monocle or not. Everything that I'm seeing here has no monocle. That blows my mind. That blows my mind.
Yeah. Another one that kind of blows my mind is the Ford logo, because I don't remember it being the fancy curly logo that it is now.
It's gone through. I'm a big Ford guy. The Ford logo has gone through a lot of different versions over the years. So yeah, I'm not so sure. But if you want to send me an email about what show me something. But I'm a Ford guy. I've seen that logo and I've drawn it a million times. It's gone through so many different versions. But I'm feeling pretty good about that one. But if you've got something you want to show me, send it, okay?
All right.
And
another thing I wanted to ask, well, just talk about, this is just conjecture, but, one of your guests that I really like to listen to is Damon T. Berry.
Right.
And, he talks about somewhere on this planet in one of the pyramids, he thinks that there is the lost Stargate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, just conjecture, what if that secret chamber that they just found in Giza, the lost Stargate is in there?
Well, what I'm hoping, or the instructions on how to use it. Could be in there. What I am very reticent to think about is that it's not like they're going to have live cameras, right? Like Geraldo and something like that. It's not going to be revealed live on television. So how do we know that what is revealed to us is the truth? And I'm being very serious here.
Exactly.
I just don't know. Or will they just be honest with us and let us know what's there? I could almost hear this. Are you ready? It's empty.
I'm ready.
It's empty. Right.
Oh yeah, because they're not going to tell us what's in there.
I can hear it. There's nothing in there. There's not, like Gate and Brink's door. The same thing. Well, Larry, listen, have a great, safe trip over to Bob Evans tomorrow and do it just like you want to do it, man. Have a great, safe Thanksgiving.
You do the same, and tell Rita I said hi, and have a great day.
Yeah, you too, Larry. Thank you for that. Mandela Effect is in full effect. There's no question about it. Let's go to the next caller. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hi.
Hi.
I am a first-time caller.
And
recently brought to you, and I would like to discuss synchronicity.
Oh, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm sorry. My name is Sarah, and I'm from Ohio.
Sarah from Ohio. Okay, now I've got to ask, what city in Ohio, Sarah?
I am about 30 miles south of Canton, where most people may know the Football Hall of Fame.
That's right. Okay. So, and you're ready for tomorrow. Let's get that out of the way, right? You all ready for Thanksgiving?
I am ready. My grandmother has instilled in the women in the line the ability to make perfect mashed potatoes. So
what makes your wait. What makes your mashed potatoes so special?
Well, if I told you, they wouldn't be that special anymore.
But maybe Rita can kick her mashed potatoes up a notch, because she will tell you. Rita will post in Twitter right now as she's listening to us down the hall in her studio. She will insist to the world that she makes the best potatoes in the world.
Well, maybe she does, but that is something that I also want to talk about is perspectives, right? And timelines, where you're talking about the Mandela Effect.
Right.
It's all about perspectives. We are all each at the same moment in time, because time is a man-made construct, of course, living out singular realities.
Continue.
We just happen to agree on we agree on some things.
Right.
We tend to be hive-minded by nature because we are, at some point, if we're living our truth, whatever that may be throughout life, we draw like people to us.
I agree.
And I think that one of the wonderful things about that is it's breaking down barriers of cognitive dissonance. And I'm just going to jump subjects real quick. I apologize for doing that for you. But I wanted to tell you, I turned 33 on Monday, and I'm happy about that. You know, some women don't like to reveal their age, but I'm happy about that. I almost died in June of this year, and I am so grateful for so much. It's not that I wasn't before, it's just in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So one of those things that I've had to spend a lot of time doing is laying in bed and meditating, which is a practice that I've always really enjoyed. And it's brought up things like what I was just talking about. And I happened across your show. I don't know how. I don't remember. Within the last couple of weeks.
Really?
And it feels like it's been months, years maybe, that I've been listening to you. Like I'd be able to hear your voice in a crowd and be like, "Oh my gosh, that's Jimmy."
And
isn't that weird?
Well, I think it's cool. I don't think it's weird. But have you gone back and listened to some of the archives?
I haven't. I should.
Yeah, because every subject that not only that you're talking about now, but everything that you've wanted to research or that you have researched or read, or any of the authors or researchers that they have been interviewed on this show. All the subjects have been covered. And so,
awesome.
If you go and Google, I mean, we have, 750 interviews. So if you go and Google whatever the name is, okay, whatever that name is, blah, 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 and Fade to Black, whatever it is, go and it'll pop up. I guarantee you, whoever you're thinking of has been on this show. So you should do that. And if
I will,
because what I'm hoping for, Sarah, and I'm hoping you're going to call back, maybe that you made some kind of connection and you can go back and listen to a show that is 2, 3, 4 years old and go back and listen to it and get a connection to it. That hive mind is real. It's real.
It really is. And I am grateful because I wouldn't have been drawn to your show if you weren't who you are. So thank you for being you.
Well, I appreciate that, Sarah, but I'm not going to let you go until you tell me what's the secret of the mashed potatoes in your family.
Well, personally, I used the good old-fashioned hand masher first.
Mm-hmm.
I use more butter than should be used. But it's a holiday, so we make exceptions, right?
Right.
Or use a healthier version. A little bit of sour cream, and then I run it through an electric mixer until it's the consistency I want it to be.
Oh, now that's a pretty interesting way to go about it.
One of the big keys is not to go too heavy on the milk too soon. Wait until you need it, because you don't want it to be sticky, but you don't want it to be runny. And once it's runny, there's no going back.
Right. I totally agree. I'm not going to give away Rita's secret ingredients, but I'm a believer in the real things, like real sour cream, real butter, whole milk, and fresh ground salt. Things like that. That's don't. And especially on Thanksgiving, that's the one day of the year that you don't use skim milk, right? You don't use margarine. There's no margarine on the table. You know that. You know you don't hold back, because that's where all those flavors are. You know what I miss? And before I let you go, if we go back, and I remember when this happened because I worked at McDonald's when this went down, and McDonald's up and changed using lard for their French fries to vegetable shortening, right? And you
know what? I remember that.
Yeah,
right before the whole getting rid of supersize stuff.
Yeah. And when they made that change, there was a reason why those French fries tasted so good. They're okay today. They're okay. Back in the day,
about that.
Yeah, back in the day, you could eat pounds of McDonald's French fries, man. You know, and so do you remember your mom when you were growing up? I know you remember this. My mom, every kitchen in the United States had those 2-gallon buckets of Crisco, right? And right.
You know, I don't think I think I saw it more at other people's houses than my own, but it was here.
It was everybody, man. Big old spoonful of Crisco in a frying pan, right? That's when food tasted good. And so anyway, there you go. And, yeah, absolutely. Just enjoy yourself
and it's
tomorrow.
Time to enjoy and be grateful, because if we're not going to, then we're wasting an opportunity to put that out into the world for people who need what we have in Bounty on days like that.
That's exactly right. And just be thankful for it. So, Sarah, be safe and be well, and enjoy your day tomorrow.
Same to you, Jimmy. Thank you so much, and thank you to Rita as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sarah. Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What a great phone call right there. Love first-time callers. A bunch of first-time callers tonight. And yeah, do you guys remember Crisco? I mean, can you? I don't know. Can you still buy it? It came in those blue cans, right? I mean, can you buy like lard? I suppose you can. That's an interesting thought. All right, let's stay on the phones. Crisco. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, my name's Alex.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
I'm good. I'm from Cincinnati, and I was calling about Dolan last night. I actually really enjoyed that interview. The only thing that I found that was kind of off-putting was the Mandela Effect section.
Yep.
Because I can completely remember the Monopoly man having a monocle.
I'm tripping on that one. Yeah, I'm tripping.
That was the only reason I even knew growing up what a monocle was. But then also, if you look to the Bible, and now it's a wolf and a lamb instead of a lion and a lamb.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
You had your story, and that's a personal thing. But I feel like everybody should remember, at least, well, not everybody, but most people will remember the monocle and the lion, and that's all I have to say.
Well, you know, and the cool thing about Richard Dolan is that he will never appease. He's not going to patronize you. He's going to just speak how he feels, and that's, you have to appreciate that out of him, because at the same time, if you remember last night, right after that, we were talking about our little UFO sighting that we had together, and he said, "Man, we summon that with our minds." And I believe that we can do that. So it's not like, he's closed-minded on the supernatural. He is not. It's just, he hasn't had that Mandela effect. When he said last night that he had watched hours of mind-numbing Mandela effect evidence, well, he's reading it. He hasn't had that moment where something has happened to him. And It'll happen.
I will say I loved when he was talking about how he related the interdimensional reality with the fish in the pond. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
As soon as he said it, I'm like, whoa, he's so correct about that.
100% correct. We don't look, planet Earth is no different. Planet Earth is our fishbowl. Okay? Now, and look at it in this regard, Alex. We all know a fish, he's in that fishbowl, and outside of that fishbowl is everything, right? Cars, the internet, other animals, tigers, lions, kitty cats, right? He doesn't know about any of that. His world is that fishbowl. If he jumps out of the water, right, he is in another universe. And our planet Earth is the same thing. We only know what we can see, what is here. We have telescopes, and we're trying to look out as far as we can, to the origins of the universe and back to the Big Bang, and trying to go back to the beginning of everything. But really, our fishbowl is this planet. That's all we can relate to. And if you were suddenly taken out of this environment and placed in another one, you couldn't relate to it. It's not your world. And
think of a near-death experience or something along the lines of that. Think of when we're out fishing in that pond and we catch a fish and we unhook it and then put it back. That's how I looked at it when he said that, and it really blew my mind. And it was a great show last night.
Well, you know how people come back with stories from maybe a near-death experience, right? And they come back and they tell us about that. Think about a fish. Right?
Exactly.
The fish, you catch them like you're saying, right? And you reel them in, and you and your brother and your dad are looking at the fish, and your dad says, you know what? He's too small. Let's throw him back. And you take the fish hook out, and you look at the fish, and then you throw him back, and you let him go. And fish goes back to his brothers and his mom. Dudes, check this out. I just saw 3 giants in a spaceship. And they took me up, and they looked at me, and they held me in their hands, and communicated and talked, and let me go. What? You're imagining things. No, it was a giant ship, right? Right?
Yeah.
It's just
that fish is now the crazy fish of the pond.
Right. And
it's not the case.
That's the tinfoil hat fish.
Exactly.
That's the crazy fish. Alex, man, before I let you go, really quick, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving tomorrow?
Well, actually, I'm picking up work to pick up some overtime, but I'm going to meet up with my family afterwards, and we're going to have a good old dinner with me and my kids and my grandparents and my whole family at their house.
Okay, what's the special dish on the table? What's the one?
100%. It's my great-grandma's dumplings. She's unfortunately gone now, but we've kept the recipe, and it's actually came from her great-great-grandma, I want to say.
Right.
And it's the dumplings.
Okay. Okay, Alex, just let me salivate right now. What's special about those dumplings?
Oh, I can't even explain it. It's like an explosion in your mouth. It's just they're amazing.
Are they chicken? Are they chicken dumplings? What's in them?
My grandma makes them. Honestly, I don't know the recipe yet. I'm not old enough. I will get that later on in life, is what I'm supposing. I better get it later on in life. Right now, it's kind of like a secret. Only like 2 people in the family know how to make them. They kind of just pack it down as it goes.
Now, what do you do on top of the dumplings? Butter and pepper?
Oh, there's plenty of butter. Well, you can do whatever you want personally.
Right.
You can do whatever you want. But, they've got plenty of butter on them already.
Man.
They're almost more of like a gravy dumplings, I guess you could say. But my grandpa loves his salt and pepper.
Yeah.
But they got plenty of butter. They're good old Thanksgiving Thanksgiving.
Oh, man. You guys have a great time. And get work done and then go hang out with the family. Be safe and be well, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great phone call. Thank you so much. And dumplings, when I was growing up, dumplings were, that was a special event, right? And I'm going to say this, and I know Rita's expecting me to say something right now. Her mom makes these dumplings. And I'm not too sure, 100% positive on the stuffing on these dumplings, but it's a chicken mixture thing that's in there. But you cover your plate with them, and they're not very big, right? They're like this, I don't know, 2 inches round. But butter and pepper, and you just bathe these things. And I'm serious. Oh, man. I love me some dumplings. All right, with that, I'm going to take a break. Everybody, if you're on hold, stay right there. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It is Thursday night, or Wednesday night, Fader night, Thursday night. It's Wednesday night, special Fader night, Thanksgiving, open lines all night long. It's been pretty good so far, huh? A little bit of the supernatural with Thanksgiving food discussion. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back with more of your phone calls. Stay right there.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. And last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's our annual Thanksgiving Fader Night. Open lines all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. And this is when the family comes together. Okay, let's go here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello, Jimmy. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Who's calling?
Is this me?
Yes.
Hey, this is Brandon. How you doing?
How are you?
Hey, you know, I'm good, man. Trying to enjoy the day off. I wanted to bring this up. If I'm bringing this up that you don't know about it, I'd be surprised. And anyway, I've been off for a couple weeks here and looking at things. Have you heard about this QAnon on 4chan?
Yeah. We've been talking about that for the last few days here on the show.
Okay, see, like I said, I haven't been listening because I've been off.
That's okay.
So this is why I'm bringing, I don't know. So anyway, I was listening to one thing. You listen to his, the threads that he says, and he leaves a couple cryptic questions at the end. There are things that doesn't make sense. I don't know if you guys have made sense about, like I said, not listen to you because my schedule's changed. Now, I started looking at things, and I ran into something that's in your wheelhouse. Right?
What's that?
Or not? DeFango.
Right.
Have you run into that with him?
I haven't talked to DeFango about QAnon, but
it's on YouTube, and he's done probably 4 or 5 hours this week on it.
Yeah, well, DeFango's been on this show a few times.
I know. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now, what he thinks is this guy is part of the group Cicada. 3301.
Oh, really?
And really? Yeah. If you look at what he says, he ties up a lot of loose ends. Alice in Wonderland.
Interesting.
It brings in Corey Good,
right?
The Secret Space Program,
mm-hmm.
CERN,
mm-hmm.
Uranium One. And it kind of ties it all in a way that I never figured it out.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Well,
I know what you be. I found it on YouTube.
Well, this is what I want you to do, Brandon. If you could send me some of the links in my email, and I'll check it out over the weekend. This is the difficult thing.
It's on his page right up there. If you look at it, you go to his page. You look at the videos being by date. You want to look at the one that says Nickel Beans, I think.
Well, like I said,
the one that will when you watch it. When you watch it, you'll be like, your mind will be blown by the time he finishes it. Believe me.
Right.
To use your vernacular, tripping.
Well,
tripping.
See,
yeah.
Well, there's so much info out there, and I only have so many, hours in the day. I've got it coming at me in all directions all day long. And I try.
Oh, I hear you. Like I said, I've been off, and I've actually had a chance to look at it, and I wouldn't have been able to do this if I wasn't off.
Right.
But man, he ties it together like I'm telling you what. This guy's smart, man.
Well,
you know that.
I'm smart. What are you doing?
Man.
Before I let you go, and thank you for the hot tip on that, and I will go check it out. Are you all ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow?
Absolutely. It's just me and my son, man, and it's really simple. It's a ham, brown sugar, in a slow cooker with all the fixes on the side.
Right. Right.
Hey,
man, I'm right
I'm not
with
a big eater, but we're gonna be. It's gonna be good.
Man,
I used to do the turkey in the fryer, and that's awesome. But this is real simple.
Do you do when you do the slow cooker? Do you do pineapple with the ham?
The brown sugar is good enough for me, and the packet that comes with it, the spiral slice.
I know, right.
Put that in, and that's good enough for me.
I'm with you. We do it every year. Spiral sliced ham with that glaze, that packet of glaze. Nothing like it.
And then you put the brown sugar. Put a bag of brown sugar and let it cook for about 8 hours. It's perfect, man.
Oh man. Well, you enjoy it, and give my best to your son, will you?
That's right, man. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brandon. Be safe and be well.
All right, man. Bye.
Another great phone call. Spiral sliced ham. that packet of glaze. And no matter what you try to do, if you try to make your own glaze, well, some can. And if you do it right, brown sugar and molasses and cook that down and get the glaze right. But man, I love me a good spiral slice ham. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hi.
Hi, who's calling?
Hi, this is Chelsea from Texas.
Chelsea from Texas, the great state of Texas. What city?
Yes, sir.
What city, Chelsea?
It's the Austin area.
You're in the Austin area. Love Austin.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want me to start going off on Austin. I love Austin, Texas. That is a great little city. That is an awesome city. So what's on your...
Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah, what's on your mind tonight?
So I was just calling in because me and my fiance Anthony, we actually have just two different kind of things we want to talk about. But I'll let him talk first, and then I'll tell my story.
Okay, what's his name?
So here's Anthony.
Okay.
Hey, good evening, sir. This is Anthony.
Hey, Anthony, how are you?
Hey, I just wanted to go over a couple of my ideas, a little bit of theories of things I thought, and it might arouse your interest. One thing, purpose of life. I really think the purpose of life is just living. I mean, we have so many checks and balances here, man. I can go on and on. You get sad to feel happy. You get happy to feel sad. I mean, what does that really leave you with in the so-called heaven? So in my theory here, which is really big, is I believe that we are actually in heaven as we speak, and that life is really what you make it. Now, really, really pull yourself outside for a second and think about what have you wanted and haven't really gotten?
For me personally, or you mean just in general with the audience?
In general, with you personally even. I mean, was there something that you really strived for and you never accomplished that goal?
Not yet. Not yet.
Exactly.
Not yet.
See, that's kind of what I'm getting at here is life is what you make it, and I really feel like it's your heaven. I really do. I think that life is what you make it. Now, I know there's a lot of stuff that you hear about in the news. I hear a lot of stuff in the news, about bad things happening, in other countries and so on and so forth. But what does that bring to you? It doesn't really affect your daily life personally.
Okay. That is a long conversation. I'll say this though, Anthony, that I was just talking to Rita the other day about this in depth. When you get out of the United States and you go to a third world country and you see this dichotomy where you'll see really, really rich people, and then right next to their house or their building or across the street, really, really poor slum. And those people in the slum are looking across the street at a car that they will never own, right? That they will never go to school. They may never get a job. They will never get a paycheck. They'll never have a checking account. And you see that. That's when it affects you directly. And
well, see, and that's kind of where I can rebuttal this, because did they fight as hard as you did? Did they do what you did? I'm trying to just get into this perspective as this is your life. Nobody else's. Everybody else around you is completely fake, let's say. And this life right now, you're creating as it goes on.
That's right. You create your own reality to a point, though.
Exactly.
But to a point, though.
Exactly.
To a point,
for sure,
because
there's going to be consequences, and I mean, I can't go out there and punch somebody and expect to not get in trouble. I mean, so there's definitely some boundaries to it, but in the end, you really, I mean, decide your future.
To a point, though. Like I said, there could be, there are children in the said slum that I'm talking about, pick the country, it doesn't matter, that may dream about being an astronaut or an airplane pilot, but they, no matter what, they're not going to create that reality. You know, it's just not going to happen. It's not, and I don't want it to be that way, but it's just you know. So that's when I put myself back into a reality check. And when I say on this show, Anthony, and I mean this, no matter how everybody's got life challenges every single day. I've got them.
Exactly.
You've got them,
and you need them.
And as bad as it may be for you, you know, you're a month late on your car payment, and you're struggling. But that is as crazy as it sounds. You have everything to be thankful for, because there are people out there that will never, ever have. You know, there are people out there that will never be late on a car payment because they'll never own a car. Right?
Yeah.
Think about that. It's crazy.
Exactly. I agree 100%. But then that makes you, let's say all these people are fake around you, that makes you feel a little bit better about yourself and what you accomplished. If you're creating your own reality, let's say.
You are right. And certainly if you are born in the United States, no matter what your background is, you have opportunity here to do whatever you want. You absolutely do. You absolutely do here. Yeah, sure. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
If you aren't doing what you want to here in the United States, you're either lazy or you like not being successful. I mean,
exactly. And and that's I'm just basing it on my life, the body I wake up in every day. You know, and I just look at it as I've always gotten what I've strived for. I know that I see in other countries that it's not as easy, but maybe that's just my perspective to make me feel better about myself.
Sure.
And that's just kind of where I'm coming from. And also, and I kind of wanted to get into after death as well. I don't know if you want to get into that. But,
well, I don't have a whole lot, Alex, or Anthony, I'm sorry. I never cut anybody off. I let everybody, speak. But tonight I've got calls backed up all over the place.
Yeah, you got calls, man. It took me about 20 minutes to get in, so I totally understand.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, Anthony, really quick. Are you guys ready for tomorrow?
And what's that? What? Thanksgiving, of course.
That's all I want to hear.
It's all ready.
It's all ready. Well, listen, next Thursday night, you guys call back, and we'll spend some more time on the phone together.
Okay. I'd really like to hear your opinions. My fiance really just turned me on to you about a week ago.
Right.
She's been listening to you for a couple of months. She wants to say one more word,
sure,
if you don't mind, before I let you go.
Absolutely, Anthony. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, Jim. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you, and I appreciate your time, sir.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Chelsea. All right, Chelsea, it's all you. What's on your mind?
Hi, Jimmy. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say thank you for taking my call. I'm sorry I can't tell my story because he took up all my time. But
it's Anthony's fault. But
yes, it is.
Next Thursday, call in, Chelsea, and we'll have a nice long chat. How's that?
Yes, sir. That sounds great. I will definitely do that. And I hope you have a great holiday and all the FADERNIGHTs. I love you guys. And I hope you guys have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Well.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. Be safe out there.
No problem. You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. What a great phone call. Man, you got to love Texas, man. You got to love Texas. Right there. Okay. Let's just let's keep this thing going. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, Jimmy?
Yes.
Jimmy, happy Turkey Day.
Who's calling?
This is Scott.
Oh, hey, Scott. Get off the speakerphone.
I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm on my headset right now.
Oh, okay, there you go. You sound a little better. I'm dialing in the EQ here. Okay. How you doing, Scott? You ready for tomorrow?
I'm doing good. Just reach over your right shoulder, grab that blue Stratocaster, put that in a box, and send it to me.
You have a lot to be You'd have a lot to be thankful for. It's a good looking guitar, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I got a funny story to tell you about Turkey Day. You want to hear a funny story about Turkey Day?
I always want to hear a funny story about Turkey Day.
Okay, you're familiar with the Dazed and Confused movie, right?
Of course.
Okay, so my dad has my uncles, my aunts coming up for Thanksgiving Day, and they're all in the house. They're all cooking the turkey, and my cousins and some friends of mine come over. We're playing basketball out in. It's got a little bit of snow going on, so we're shooting the basketball in the driveway. One of my friends pulls up with a 12-pack of beer, so we start sticking this beer inside the snowdrift, but there's like a little cylinder, like a little hole there in the snow, right?
Right.
So now my sister comes out from the backside. She starts smoking a cigarette. And we're like looking at her going like, what? My sister smokes? Now, all of a sudden, my parents and uncles and aunts come around the backside, catch my sister smoking a cigarette. She gets in all kinds of trouble. And my uncles and my dad, they all start playing basketball. And the ball goes falling in the snow. My dad looks down, sees this little cylinder, and he sees this little cylinder. He pulls out this little bottle, and he goes, what's this? Beer. He goes, what the hell is going on around here? So our Thanksgiving Day was just shot to hell. We're all grounded.
Yeah, I think all of us, that is a great story. And
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, totally Dazed and Confused. I love that movie. But I think all of us have a story similar to that when your parents busted you, for the first time. Whatever it is, a cigarette lighter, a pack of cigarettes, a bag of weed, all of that. We've all got that story. So there you go. I'll say this before I let you go, Scott. I remember my mom used to do, it used to bother me too. But anyway, she, laundry, first thing in the morning every day, man, going around and collecting everything. There was never any, not one dirty sock in the house, right? Always doing laundry. And it was Saturday morning and I'm sleeping in. I've been out all night. I was senior in high school. And my mom comes in my bedroom with her hands, together, like making a little bowl in her hands. And she walks up to my bed and I open up my eyes and she's standing above me with her hands. And I go, what's going on? She goes, this was in your pants pocket. And she holds it down to me and it's my pot. Right? It's the bag. And she goes, this is a true story. She goes, it turned the laundry green. And I was like, what? And I thought I was grounded. And I thought I was grounded. I thought I was in trouble. And she goes, now look, we can't tell your dad. I'm like, Mom, your secret's safe with me. I feel bad about the laundry. But and so anyway, she handed it to me. So I had what was left of the pot.
So funny, man.
Yeah. I had to dry it out for like a week.
Well, Jimmy, it's so crazy. You were in the same cities around the same time that I was, and you came out to L.A.
Right.
I'm surprised we just didn't walk across each other.
Yeah, we probably did. 1,000,000 times.
Maybe.
I mean, Scott, man, Hollywood, man, that's a small place. Oh. So, there's no telling, one of these days you and I will get together and we'll start talking about friends and stuff like that. And then suddenly
maybe
it'll click.
I'm going to get down to Conscious Life Expo and see you down there.
Absolutely, Scott. And until then, have a great, safe Turkey Day tomorrow, my friend.
You too, bro. You have a good time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Scott. Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, my mom, I'll never forget that. That is a true story. Don't tell your father. I was like, man, no problem there, Mom. We can keep this between us. I had to dry that weed out for like a week. I think it was better in the end. I think it was better than before it got washed. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, my, oh my, everybody has one of those stories, don't they, Jimmy?
Yes, who's calling?
Hey, this is Ben from Bristol. How you doing, bud?
Oh, my goodness gracious. How are you? Now, look. I know, Mr. Trout, I know your table is correct tomorrow.
Absolutely. We never hold anything back here for Thanksgiving.
Now I remember it's been a while since I've talked to you, but I remember us talking about Turkey Day last year on Fade to Black.
Yeah, we did. I think so.
Yeah, I think we did.
We do the annual deep frying of the turkeys here.
Yeah,
I have three birds I have to fry tomorrow.
And how long does it take to deep fry a bird, Ben?
Actually, to be honest with you, it depends on the weight, but basically 3 minutes per pound.
That's what I heard.
You just drop them in the deep fryer, and you can't go wrong, really. I mean, it's great. It packs everything in, packs all the juices in, and
you burn, and you get to burn your
way
house,
to go.
and you get to burn your burn your house down. So
Yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully we will not blow anything up. But
every year
we're ready to go.
Every year you get a new garage.
Yeah.
Oh man,
how are you doing, man?
It's great to hear your voice. How was the season out there at Bristol?
Hey, Bristol, we were great. We had a great year. We we raced there at Bristol Motor Speedway in April, and came back in August and had a full house. And it was great. It's fun. It's nice to see Martin Truex capture the title. And we hate to see folks like Dale Jr. retiring and Matt Kenseth retiring.
I know, right?
But at the same time, it's you got some young up and comers aboard, and just it's never a dull moment here, Jimmy. You know that.
No, I know. And this is what's really funny. Richard Petty retires. NASCAR's over. It's through. Whatever. If you go back and you look at, you talk about Cale or Richard, Pearson, and that whole, Darrell, Waltrip, and that whole original crew of guys, and what it meant for NASCAR. And that how could it possibly continue? And then you had the next wave come through, and now we're seeing it again. It's really strange to see the cycle, and it happens like in the NFL. When it
does.
How many quarterbacks have the Colts gone through, right? And who would have thought that we would see Peyton Manning from the beginning to the end of his career, and you see, and it's just like it's the cycle. You go through these cycles, and we're going to be talking in 2 or 3 years about the next greats in NASCAR. I mean, Truex is great. I mean, he's a phenomenal driver, but I just think that Matt Kenseth is too young to hang it up. I think Dale Jr. and I'm still not even used to the thought of him not driving anymore, because I expected him to win a few titles, and I wanted to see him rack up I wanted one season out of him where he just dominated everything, and I just feel like
the whole NASCAR world did.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that.
Yep.
I mean, really, they most certainly did.
Yep. And I got my Dale Jr. hat here.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I got it. I got an autographed Dale Jr. hat somewhere. I'm looking for it. I was gonna hold it up for the camera, but it's somewhere here in the bunker. So what's on your mind tonight, man?
Well, ma'am, hey, listen. Number one, I just want to wish you and Rita and all the FADERNIGHTs out there a most happy Thanksgiving, and then moving forward into the Christmas season, just a wonderful holiday season. But one of the things actually a couple of things I really me, I'll catch up on your shows the day after, because I have to get in bed early, except on nights like this when I don't have to go to work tomorrow. But really enjoyed the David Wilcock show. That was the Alliance versus the Cabal. That was really interesting.
It was strong,
and that was a strong show. And I waver back and forth a little bit sometimes with Corey and David and some of the things that are discussed. But that was really a strong show, and I'm going to go back and listen to it again. And I just thought that kudos to you. I still haven't listened to
to you and Richard Bleepin Dolan yet. I'm going to catch up on that one tomorrow, probably.
Another
Go back
strong,
and listen to a podcast.
Another strong
Yeah,
show.
everybody says that was strong. Just hearing the calls tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the thing, Ben, and I'm glad that you look at this in a grounded sense. When it comes to any of the guests on this show, and certainly people want to talk about Corey or talk about David or Linda Moulton Howe or Mike Bear or Dolan and they, Greer, and they bring up the names. But it goes with anybody. You have to just listen. If you're going in feet first and believing the narrative, whatever it is, and it could be extreme, that's a dangerous zone to go into. You have to be skeptical. You need to go out and test this stuff for yourself, and try to figure it out on your own. But certainly listening to everybody, because we all know there's something going on. There's something going on. We know this. There's something going on. And we're all searching for those answers. And that's the beauty of this show. The thing with Wilcock that made this show so special this time around is that everything, and I really mean this, that David has been talking about for a number of years, where there were so many skeptics out there that would come back with, well, you know what, he's making these predictions, but nothing's happening. He keeps saying this, and another year has gone by. He keeps saying, well, you know what? This last couple of years, the start of this last election cycle and the fake news and everything that started to get revealed with different organizations and the banking system and just discovery and things going on, suddenly everything seems a little bit different about David's message. And now people are stepping back going, well, you know what? I need to start listening to this guy. And that's the world is a strange place. It's strange, and I don't want any of it to be true. That's the crazy part. I don't want any of it. But
yeah, it is. It's intriguing, and to your point of just to basically echo what you just said, I just find myself, in my 50 years upon this earth is just to have an open mind, and really there are no limits, and 90% of the stuff that you hear in the news, if you, like you say often, think the opposite, go the other way, because that's more than likely the truth than anything else. But David, yeah. So he really he hooked me the other night whenever you guys were talking and stuff, and a lot of that stuff made a lot of sense, and just a really great conversation.
Yeah, thank you for that, Ben. And listen, you guys tomorrow, and give my best to the family, but you guys just have a great, safe, fun, and happy Thanksgiving. And I know at the Trout House, you guys are doing it correct.
Oh, we'll do it. I've got one more thing to hit you with, and I'm going to give you a challenge. Okay. It may be 2000. It could be in 2018. It could be 2019, because I know how early you're just like us planning for races. It takes a while to make things happen. But here in the East, and we've talked about this before, but I would like to challenge you and to get out here east of the Mississippi somewhere, and let's put together a conference out here somewhere.
Yeah, let's do it.
You got Micah Hanks. Micah Hanks lives 45 minutes from me,
right,
just over the mountain in Asheville, North Carolina.
Right.
And then I know guys like Steve up in Bluefield, Virginia, would come down for it. Les
sure.
is close.
Right.
Just a lot of people here are really interested in what you're doing. You've got a lot of listeners from this part of the country, and I know you guys do some wonderful things out there on the West Coast. But man, we'd love to have you guys come out here and do something here on the Eastern Seaboard, and grab a race from Arkansas and get them out here, and let's put something together.
Yeah, why don't we? You and Rita need to just sit down and put your heads together, and let's see if we can do that, man, in 2018, and do something out on the East Coast.
It would be great. We'd love to have you here. I mean, and there's a lot of interest in it. Well, I mean, gosh, not just nationwide, but worldwide in what you do. Right. Day in and day out, and I know we could have a successful event out here. We'd love to have you.
I'm totally with you on that, Ben. I'm totally with you. So let's talk about that. In the meantime, do it correct tomorrow, Ben Trout.
It'll all be well, my friend. I'll send you a picture.
I'll talk to you, man. Thank you so much, Ben.
All right, brother. Have a good one, man.
I'll talk to you. All right, I got
to. Bye.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to head to a break right here. That is Ben Trout from Bristol Motor Speedway, VP of Bristol Motor Speedway. Ben Trout, doing it right out there in Bristol. It's Fade to Black. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Simple enough. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. And, of course, the chat rooms over at KGRA, The Planet, and Spreaker are wide open. And let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy?
Yes.
Hi, it's Fran.
Hey, Fran, how are you?
I'm good. Looks like you're doing okay, too.
It's been a nice back-to-back phone call kind of evening. So there you go.
Oh.
Are you ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow, Fran?
Oh, I don't observe holidays.
It's not a holiday. It's a cooking day.
I don't cook.
It's a
I don't cook that kind of stuff.
So what are you going to eat tomorrow? Are you going to have friends? Are you going to go hang out with somebody?
No. I stay home.
Really?
I don't get in. Yeah, I don't get into all that.
Oh man! Only when you're hanging out with us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well that's a holiday. You can call that a holiday.
Yeah. No, I don't have any really close friends nearby or any family, so I just ignore everything.
Yeah, fair enough. Is it what you want to do? That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I prefer it.
All right. So what's on your mind tonight, Fran?
Well, I have a question for you.
What's that?
My Zechariah Sitchin tape that I loaned you?
Yep.
Have you gotten anywhere with that?
Yep.
You haven't lost it, have you?
No. It's been digitized.
Oh, it has?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely. It has.
Well, okay. So when do I get it back?
Well, when am I going to see you again?
Not for a while.
Okay. Well, if you want, I'll mail it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, not a problem. It's been digitized.
I'm going to be able to make CITD this coming one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
there's just no way I can make it out there.
Yeah. So it's been digitized. I haven't listened to all of it yet, but now that you've stirred the pot on that one, I'll do it over the weekend.
Okay, excellent. So you don't even know if you got the sound better on it than what the tape was?
I listened. No, it sounds fine. It sounds fine.
Okay,
what I've listened. Yeah. No, that part of it's fine.
Yeah.
And I have the ability.
Burn me a copy too.
Oh yeah.
Go with the tape.
Sure.
I don't have a tape player anymore.
Okay, I'll send you a file. How's that?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
All right. Well, Fran, just be safe tomorrow. Okay. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Have fun.
I do.
Okay.
I always do.
Thank you so much, Fran.
Okay, you and Rita have a great day tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, absolutely, Fran. And I would say happy Thanksgiving, but I don't know if it applies. But
I'm a bah humbug person.
Have a great day, Fran.
Okay, you too.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you so much. Fran gave me last year a tape of Zechariah Sitchin that she made of one of his presentations at a conference. And I didn't have a way to digitize it. So at Contact in the Desert last year, and this is what was really special about this moment, Sabrina and showed up at the Fade to Black booth with a cassette player that had a digital out on it, a USB out, that allowed me to digitize the tape. But what was strange about that moment, when she gave this to me, she goes, and this is for the Zechariah Sitchin tape. So she gave it to me, and it was a great, but then Fran turns around and goes, I've got the tape right here. And she takes the tape out, and so at that moment, I got the cassette player and the tape at the same exact time, and that's what I'm talking about. This family is amazing. All right, let's go and say, what is up, Race Hobbs?
You know, Jimmy, I just absolutely love listening to your program.
Man,
I love it, man.
Race Hobbs in the house.
It is, you know, you do these great interviews, and nobody does them like Jimmy.
No.
And but then you have these nights. I'm telling you, I can't. My cheeks are sore from smiling and laughing You have some of the greatest callers, man. I swear to God, it is just amazing the absolute plethora of personalities that you attract and bring to the KGRA as well. I mean, absolutely just wonderful to listen to your program. There's no question why everybody loves you so much.
Well, I tell you, I'm going to tell you something funny. Years ago, now I've now been doing Coast for 3 years, and we've been on KGRA for 2.5, almost 3 years on KGRA. And then we had that first year of this show before that. And it was tough getting calls. And my first weekend over at Coast, I'm not kidding, the first month I was over at Coast. Now think about that, where you have a million people listening to you, right? Or more. So you're assuming that you go, okay, open lines, let's go. And the phones just jam. There was a month there on Coast, right, where I had no callers. Now, how is that possible, right? Now, you would think I would have callers calling in to tell me that I sucked or whatever, right? But it was crickets. And now, but people have to, get used to you, but also your audience is here because they are attracted to the show and they want it. Now it's the exact opposite. Now, when I start Fade to Black, the phones are jammed from the beginning to the end. You know, it's crazy. Coast, I don't even have to announce open lines or whatever. You hear that the announcer, right, to talk to Jimmy Church east of the Rockies, right? Before that, even the phones are just lit up and they start from the beginning of Coast to the end, and it's the same thing here on Fade to Black. And I'm so appreciative of that, because it wasn't always this kind of party race. It was tough going there for a while.
Yeah, well, this is where you do your thing. This is Jimmy's place right here. And, not to bag on evil corporate radio, which you and I have done all of our careers just about.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's a wonderful platform, a wonderful opportunity for you to do your thing. But this is where you really do your thing, because this is your program. This is your bag right here. So whatever Jimmy wants to do, however Jimmy wants to work his jelly, this is the place to get it. There's none of that other intrusion and none of that other programming laws to go by.
Right.
So here you're free. But listen, before you I just completely skipped Happy Thanksgiving to you and to the lovely Rita. And I just want to say a few things real quick, if I could, before we move on. I'm terribly thankful for my family. I want to tell the FADERNIGHTs, thank you for their support, and they are our family. All of our listeners here at KGRA and at Jimmy Church Radio and KJCR, you are our family, and we couldn't do this without any of you. And Robin and I were in the kitchen earlier, and I had mentioned to her that I was going to make sure and give you a call tonight because it's been so long, and just give thanks to you, to Rita, for the hard work that you do, and it is hard work to do a 3-hour program, night in and night out all week, and then give thanks to all of the listeners who make it possible for us to do what we do. And I want to give thanks to my blood family here, whom will all gather here tomorrow for a wonderful day of thanks, giving thanks, and enjoying some good groceries. Mm-hmm. I want to give thanks to Robin, my wife, for all of her support, her loyalty, her love and dedication to me and my dream and dreams, and for staying right by my side. And there's one guy that I want to thank really quickly, if I could, Jimmy. and that is Warren Brager. Warren is he's the new owner of KGRA now.
Right.
He's my partner, and he has come to the KGRA last November was when we worked out the deal, and he's been here for a year, and this guy has, pretty much single-handedly invested fistful of money into this station to upgrade all of the equipment and all of our ability to be able to do TV next year, and to get us all the best audio equipment and all the services and everything that we can provide all of our listeners to get a grander reach. We're reaching way out now, and we've moved into, live on location, everything, everywhere next year in 2018. It's going to be crazy.
Right.
But, his loyalty, his friendship, his brotherhood with me has grown so much, over the 7 years that I've known him. He was here at the KGRA. He is a founder of the KGRA in the very beginning. And for him to come back after achieving so much success in the e-cigarette and vapor business, to reinvest into this dream that he and I shared together years ago has been one of the most amazing things to see this year and to be a part of. And all of our listeners, Jimmy, all of the FADERNIGHTs, all of the KGRA listeners, we're all going to reap the benefits in 2018 with all of this. It's going to be crazy. But I just wanted to give thanks to him as well, and to you and Rita, most importantly. I wanted to thank you guys. It's been a while. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah, you know what? If you and I want to thank you for that. And we are so thankful for everything around us too. We have to stop sometimes. Life is crazy and it's busy and it's hectic and we're doing all of these things all the time. But you just need to stop and just look around, because you don't understand sometimes the progress that you've made. And where things are today compared to where they were 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And you don't do that alone. You do that with people around you and support and friendship and belief in the mission. And if you go back, Race, I'll never forget the first time that you and I talked on the phone, our very, very, very first phone call. I don't know if
I'll never forget that.
I don't know if you called me or I called you. I don't remember how that went.
I called you first.
You called me. Okay. I do know that I was in bed when the phone call happened.
I know the best times to call.
Yeah. But anyway, from that first phone call, from the let's do this, let's talk about this, there's an opportunity here, to today. Wow. And it's the times like this where we just have to step back and go, man, I am thankful. I'm thankful for everything. You have to just stop and just count your blessings, man, and count your blessings. So with all of that, tell me what's going to be on your table tomorrow. And I know your house smells good right now, don't it?
Yeah, Robin just came in here and she said, she was banging some pots around and she said, am I being too loud? No, honey, no. Because, everybody knows the KGRA home office studios are in my spare room in my home.
Right.
This is where I built the KGRA from. And I said, no, baby, you're fine. You're fine. Because I didn't hear it through my headphone, but it does. It smells really good. We've got a good friend of mine is smoking one turkey for us, and I'm cooking one turkey in the oven at 4 a.m. And we've got a Petit Jean spiral smoked ham that you love so much. We're going to have one of those. And I agree with Alex, man. I'm with him on the dumplings, the chicken and dumplings, man. That the great grandmama, the grandmother, mom, that old recipe, I've got the same thing in my house, but I've got my grubby hands on this recipe. I made sure years ago and worked my jelly and got it. So, I can tell you something that we use in ours, Jimmy.
What's that?
Buttermilk. In our mashed potatoes and in the chicken and dumplings, a little bit of buttermilk in there. In the mashed potatoes, man, the one thing you can't leave out for me is, the garlic and a little bit of those wild onions in there, man. I've got to have them.
Now, oh man, I am just so hungry right now. What about, tell me, do you do the string bean casserole?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
With the French onions?
You and I talked about that, I think, last year.
French onions on the top?
Yes, absolutely. You betcha.
If you make that recipe right off the back of a cream of mushroom soup can, Campbell's, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. And what else is on the table? What are you doing for dessert?
Oh, well, we've got all the chocolate pies. We've got a couple of pecan pies, and I'm not doing any pumpkin this year. My daughter, she called. She said, "Daddy, do you want me to do pumpkin in it?" No, it's all sweet potato pie this year. No pumpkin, which is real close, but not quite. And
pecan pie. Huh? So this is what I think Rita's going to make her famous homemade carrot cake. Now,
oh God, I wish I could get some of that.
Man.
Rita's no joke.
Rita's
no joke when it comes to cooking groceries.
No, she don't play. She really doesn't. She really doesn't play. And I like to think that I'm good. And there are things that
in the backyard, man.
I know.
Outdoors, Jimmy can go.
I know. And I like to think that. But Rita, her whole family. We have 2 sister-in-laws that both can cook that are outrageous. Her mom and her aunt, those 2 throw down, and they all have their own little niche that they're really good at. But Rita's mom is like, she's bulletproof, right? So she can cook everything really well. But the whole family is really good at what they do, and Rita, she's just learned from the best. She's really, really, really good.
I don't know how you're not my size, to be honest with you. I really don't know. I really don't know how you're not, king size like me.
Well, you'll be seeing me here soon, so I don't know. You can reserve that comment. We'll see what you have to say in a couple of months. So what, also, really quick, what's on the horizon? I don't want you to get out of here without finishing that we're going to start television next year. What's going on with that?
Well, this year, Warren and I made it to the NAB show in Vegas. You remember I called you?
NAB, yep.
Right, and was just absolutely floored. It had been many years since I had been to the NAB in Vegas, and it was just off the chain. And we were able to build some good relationships with a lot of the industry standard and many levels of radio, terrestrial and digital. And we got our new phone systems there. We got our broadcast software there. We got our television broadcast software there. vMix software is what we're going to go with. And we've had video producers in training for about 6 months now. And it's just amazing. And we have been developing our investigations team, which Chase Kletsky is our senior chief investigator for KGRA Investigations, which we began this fall. And she's going to be doing investigations that we're going to be covering on video and making some video episodes with those. I guess I can go ahead and announce it. This is the first time. Tracy Austin is going to come over to KGRA and do a radio show starting in January 2018. And she's also going to do her show, Let's Talk Paranormal, on KGRA TV. Mm-hmm. And we're going to start developing more shows for KGRA TV, as well as, I think we're going to rebuild a members area for KGRA, and we're going to, put TV in there for the shows that we do. And then we're also going to do live stream on YouTube and live stream and on the website at all the venues we go to, Jimmy. That's something else that I wanted to talk about, and we can do this off the air, about Contacting the Desert. I've never gotten to go, and I understand that they're moving it into an indoor venue this year where I might be able to survive the heat.
Yeah, you got that right. You got that right.
In Palm Springs. So hopefully we can make it there as well. But, the TV cameras are going to be with us everywhere we go. And folks will be able to view all that. We're going to ramp up YouTube and ramp up TV on our station and KGRA TV. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's something that we wanted to do when we started KGRA, but, who had $100,000 in their pocket to go? I mean, we started KGRA with the lint in our pockets. And like you said, looking back at the trek, we all here have a great deal of thanks to give for all of the blessings that have been bestowed upon us all along the way. And to pat ourselves on the back for the hurdles we've cleared and the milestones we've made. And, we just keep grinding, Jimmy. That's what we do. And we do it all for, we do it for the truth, our search in all of these world mysteries. These truth seekers are our family, and that's why we do it.
This community and this family that has been built, that's extraordinary. But the better part for me is how those out there look to not only Fade to Black, but KGRA and everybody and all the hosts that are on KGRA with such respect. And that's the part that just lets you know that you're doing the right thing. I mean, it's wonderful to just see how everybody looks back towards us, and that's the satisfaction that I get, and where things are going, and what it's going to be like in 2 years, 3 years from now. And 3 years from now, we're going to talk about tonight, right? Remember that Thanksgiving show we did 3 years ago, and that's what I enjoy most. Well, listen, Race, I'm up against a break because of you, so I got to take a break. But thank you so much. And again, enjoy your day tomorrow. 2 turkeys and a ham and pecan pie, dumplings and string bean casserole and mashed potato. It don't get no better than that, does it?
It don't get no better. Happy Thanksgiving to you and Rita and to all of the Fadernauts. And Ben, listen, let's all get together. The KGRA's been planning some live events out in the East. So we would love to talk with you, Jimmy, about working something out. Maybe we can all go out to Tennessee and hang out together.
Yeah, man. Ben Trout. Yeah, we should do that. Absolutely. Okay, let's do it.
Take care, Jimmy, and I love you and thank you, brother.
Thank you so much, Race. The world is our oyster, my friend. And be safe tomorrow.
You do the same, brother.
Thank you, Race. Race Hobbs, everybody. KGRA. The boss. The big hoss. Yeah, we all have so much to be thankful for. And what a family we have built here. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Phone lines are open. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back.
Here, and you are listening to my boy Jimmy Church on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
So you went to dinner last night, you had your favorite pasta. Ugh. Or maybe you had a heavy, spicy meal and it left you. Ugh. GetTheT.com. Maybe you mowed down a huge steak and your plumbing is all plugged. Ugh. GetTheT.com. Our super strength tea will take care of your occasional. Ugh. It's all organic and non-GMO. Get rid of We have so many great supplements, but our super tea is number one. GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hey, can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. The holidays are coming. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Whoa. Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our Thanksgiving special event, Fader Night, open lines all night long. Great phone calls tonight. I want to thank Race Hobbs for coming in. Also, very busy man, and you know they're cooking at I wonder what time it is there, 11:30, and you know they're cooking and getting ready for tomorrow. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Open lines all night long. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Ahoy there, Jimmy. It's Gigi.
Hey, Gigi. How are you, man?
Not too shabby. How's it going, man?
Man, well, life is good over here. How's yours?
It's going. Still alive. Alive.
How's the show?
Doing good, man. Doing good. 10 months strong. Still doing it, man.
And your sister, your mom, the family?
Yeah, everybody's doing pretty good. They're all out there in Arizona, so I'm gonna have to tag along on some friends' Thanksgivings, but I'm gonna try to do a double Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Oh man, I've done that. I've done that a few times in my life. You know, the double booking on Thanksgiving, and it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. Well, listen, man, I gotta go. What? Yeah, you know, you don't want to tell anybody you've got another Thanksgiving dinner to go to. You got to come up with the excuse, right? You know, whatever it is. And then you bail and you don't eat that much. Then you go to the next one and you let it all hang out. So good for you, man.
Yeah, you got to play it right. And, you know, so I got a couple of things I want to bring up and get your take on. But, you know, that one caller earlier, you know, you guys were talking about the good old days of McDonald's where they had the lard and the French fries. But you know what else they had back in that day was with the nuggets, you used to be able to choose between white meat and dark meat nuggets.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Man, let me tell you. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was probably back in the early 90s when they stopped that. But, man, those dark meat nuggets, that's where it was at.
Oh, man. You know what? And you just brought up a memory. I'm gonna watch this light up on Twitter, just bringing this up. There was McDonald's back in the day had an ice cream cone called the Triple Ripple. Okay, now it was before you were around. I already know this, but called the Triple Ripple, and it was vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. It was so it was pre-made. You know, it was already wrapped and packaged. But man, those things were the bomb, man. A Triple Ripple. Let's see who remembers Triple Ripples from McDonald's. I'm gonna go. Triple Ripple. I'm going to go 1972. That's what year I'm talking about. That's 50 years ago. 50 years ago. 40 years ago. 1972. The Triple Ripple. Let me see. I'm going to pull this up here on I'm going to see if I can get this. Let's see. McDonald's ALDS Triple Ripple. Yep, there it is. Yeah. Okay, let's look at some images. Oh God, the Triple Ripple. That's bringing it back, man. That's going way back. Okay, so what else is on your mind as I'm dreaming about the Triple Ripple?
All right. Well, first thing is about the Mandela Effect. Now, one thing that just totally, like, I don't care who you are, what you say, there's something to it. And the example that really tripped me out was the whole Shaquille O'Neal being in a movie called Shazam. Mm-hmm. And as we all know, there was no movie Shazam, and Shaq never played the genie. But there is, there's that movie Kazam that was with Sinbad, I believe. But so a friend busted it out on me. He just became aware of the Mandela Effect. And so, he dropped it on me, and he was like, remember that movie Shazam? And my response right away was, oh, yeah, the one where Shaq played the genie. He was like, yeah, but there was no Shazam. Dropped on me. I was like, what? And that right there really tripped me out. So then I thought I would test it out. So a couple of days later, I drop it on my friend. And the way I did it was I told her, okay, remember that movie where Shaq played the genie? She's like, yeah. And without hesitation, she said, Shazam. And that's just because there's two things to that. One, the Shaq being the genie when he never was, but then two, that everybody is specifically recalling it as Shazam. I mean, there's really, that just tells me right there. I mean, there's something to it. It's one thing for a bunch of people to misremember it, but for everybody to misremember two specific answers of two specific things, that's just kind of, that's proof enough right there for me.
The evidence of it, I have had a few people send me copies of their videotapes, right? Photographs of it where it said Shazam written on the label. That's happened over the years. I've had it, a couple of times now. What I haven't seen is the video itself. But I don't understand, for me, if it didn't happen, how can everybody just cross-pollinate Shaq into this Shazam character? What was the movie that Shaq was in where he played, he did the voiceover for it, the cartoon. Hold on. Let me see.
I couldn't tell you.
IMDb. Okay. I'm going to look this up here. Shaquille O'Neal, IMDb. Let's go to all his filmography. Kazam. Okay, that was the name of the movie where He played a troubled kid inadvertently releases a genie who must grant him any of the 3 wishes he requests. So that movie was called Kazam, and that came out in I remember when he did the voiceover for it, because that was over at a studio where Guns N' Roses was rehearsing in. So it must have been around 95. 1996 was the release date. So I remember when he did the voiceover for that. But as far as Shazam goes, are we confusing Kazam with Shazam? For some reason. I don't know. Does he say Shazam in the movie? No, I guess he would say Kazam. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. But I've known multiple people that just without hesitation say Shazam.
Right.
And I don't know. Maybe it's not as epic as I thought. But you know what? I do want to get. I don't want to take up too much time, and I do want to get to my last point, which is I wanted to call in about it back when this came up. I think it was when Josh Gates was on your show, and you brought up the moon landings, and I really want to because over the years I've gone back and forth, and there's so much. I mean, one thing is for sure, there is clearly some tomfoolery afoot around the Apollo missions, no matter how you slice it. But it's just, I just can't figure out what my overall stance is on that. I guess as far as I could tell, I feel like we went to the moon, but I feel like maybe we didn't get there in the way that we were told. Like, I'm not too convinced that we strapped a bunch of guys onto some firecrackers and just launched them up there like that. I feel like maybe there was some other technology involved or something. But I really I want to get your take. What's your overall take on the Apollo missions, and where do you sit with that?
I am completely uncomfortable with the technology that with Apollo, Gemini, and Mercury, that technology is what would take somebody to the moon. Because when you look at an Apollo capsule for real, and you just look at it, it just doesn't seem right. Now, and so you go and you digest that for a second, and then you then throw everything else onto this pile. And the main thing is we have not been back. And the excuses for us or China or Russia or anybody else for not going back to the moon is because we can't. We don't have the technology. We don't have the ability to do it. And it's just like, well, wait a minute. We did it in the 60s. We did it in you're telling me that technology, those computers, that system got us to the moon then, but now we simply can't. And we're building the technology, and we're going to have it again soon to take us back to the moon. That's the part that starts to confuse me a little bit. Now, that's the story that we're being told. Now, on the backside of that, do we have and have we had the ability to go there, and have we been there this entire time? That's the thing. I believe that we have. I really, really do. I really believe we've been there, many times, and we might have been there before, Apollo, and that we had this parallel program going on in the background the entire time. That's my gut feeling, and I know it's a stretch for a lot of people, but I have big issues with the spacesuits, the lunar lander, the Apollo capsule, keeping it hot and cold and everything. I'm not saying that we didn't have technology that took care of all of that. I'm saying that technology as presented to us, it just doesn't hold water for me. It just doesn't. Those computer systems, the computer system, and you kick back and you stand here on planet Earth and you look up and you look at the moon, And now, remember, the moon is moving. The Earth is moving. It's rotating, and it's going around the sun. The moon is going around us, and you have all of these complex things going on at the same time. And that somehow, with that technology of Apollo, that we shot a rocket, and it ended up at the moon. It just, no, I'm just not buying into it. I'm just difficult with that. And the atmosphere, and it's hot and it's cold. You step into the shade. Now, remember, we're talking about radiation, and there's no atmosphere on the moon, allegedly. So now you have all the solar radiation running around, and these guys are basically in cloth suits. And that they were able to heat up and cool down at a moment's notice. If you are standing in the direct sunlight, it's hundreds of degrees. You step into the shadow of the lunar lander, right? And now it's minus 100 degrees. And wait a minute. Now, how are we dealing with this? How? I don't understand. And the lunar lander, which is sitting out there on the surface of the moon in the direct sunlight at hundreds of degrees, that thing, think about that. It's an oven. And what kind of air conditioning system is on that? I don't know, man. It's not rotating. If they had that thing turning on the moon surface, right? So every couple of minutes, the hot side got into the cool side, right? And rotated, I might be able to buy into this, but it just sat there. I don't know. Gigi, it would be a totally soul-crushing moment if it was revealed that all of that was faked, and that we had...
and you got to take into account, all the... that film, the archival footage that Bart Seibel got, where it clearly shows them faking the moonshot there in that documentary. And it's like, well, okay, why are you faking it?
Yeah.
If you're really out there, why don't you just take a photo? Why do you have to fake it?
Yeah.
And then there's other things like the, somebody, I think it was the president or something of the United States at the time, sent a moon rock as some sort of gift to what was it, Sweden or Finland or some country in Europe, and it's this big, like, you are not allowed to open that case and examine that rock, but they did anyway, and it turns out it was fake.
It was petrified.
So,
it was petrified wood. Petrified wood, and that's a fact.
Yeah, so why are they, if you've got moon rocks, why are you sending fake ones? And there's just so many examples. It's just, there's just so much smoke around that situation. There is some kind of fire there.
That's why your show is so good, man. So thank you so much, Gigi, man. I can't wait to hang out with you again.
Definitely, man. Yeah, Conscious Life Expo. I'll be seeing you guys there. And, wish you all a happy Thanksgiving to the Fadernauts as well. And I'll talk to you sooner than later, man.
I'll talk to you, man. I'll see you in a month and a half right out here in Los Angeles. Thank you, Gigi.
All right. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Have a great night. Gigi Rabbit in the house. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Mr. Church, it's Jason. How's it going, bud?
Hey, Jason. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you, too. Look, I just wanted to wish you and the Fade to Black crew, KGRA, everybody over there, a happy Thanksgiving. And you know what, man? If nothing proves that the Mandela Effect is real, this night proves that it's real. Because the only takeaway that I heard from people talking about Richard Dolan's conversation yesterday was the fact he didn't believe the Mandela Effect. And if there wasn't anything to it, there's no way it would have stoked that type of reaction in people.
Yeah.
So if people want to know whether it's real, you just listen to this show. Because there wasn't anything else that he mentioned that got the type of response that the Mandela Effect did. And it was a throwaway comment. And here you go. This is your proof right here tonight. There's something to it.
You're absolutely right with that observation. And everybody, myself included, we listen to Richard for his intelligence. We need to be steered in a direction, and we're just, we're glued to every word. And then he turns around and says, well, you know what? Poo-poo on the Mandela Effect. Well, you know what? Nobody here listened to Richard when he said that. And you're absolutely right. And we love, he He is the brightest and one of the most popular, not only guests on this show, but speakers and writers and out there in the world. And we need him to represent us. And that's a fact. But this audience didn't buy what he was selling last night, were they?
No, not at all, not one bit. And it's just a testament to the audience's intelligence. Where we love Richard, like you said, but you know what? He's not 100% correct. Maybe 99.
All right, hey Jason, I've got 15, 20 seconds. Are you ready for Turkey Day tomorrow?
I am all ready. I've had my hands up a turkey's carcass all night. I got stuffing ready. I got sausage and sauerkraut getting ready to go into the slow cooking crock pot. Kitchen's a mess, and I love it.
Oh,
and I'm all ready.
How many people are you going to have?
I cooked for about 20, and I'm going to have about 10. So we're going to be good with leftovers.
That's what, there is nothing better, and I want to thank you, Jason, and you guys just have a great day tomorrow, but there is nothing better than a turkey sandwich the day after Thanksgiving. Nothing.
You got it. Turkey sandwich, mayonnaise, cheese, and stuffing on a brioche bun. You're in heaven.
That's what I'm doing. I'll talk to you, Jason. Be safe and be well. Have a great day tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Thank you so much. And that will wrap another Fader Night right here on Fade to Black. I want to thank everybody that called in tonight. You made this night very, very special. We have so much to be thankful for. We have the best audience in the world. I want to thank Race Hobbs and KGRA, The Planet, for coming in. Everybody that called in. Brandon got through twice. You know how impossible that is? That's Mandela Effect for you right there. Oh, man. So that's it. We got to go start cooking and get ready for our day tomorrow. And, again, we all have so much to be thankful for. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm and Renee. Thank you to Dennis. Thank you, Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2017 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Everybody have a great, safe Thanksgiving. We'll see you Monday. Be safe. Go Backley Tappy.